Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome, welcome, welcome to episode 40 of the phenomenon known to mankind as Saturday afternoon's main events. For some reason, after 40 episodes, if you've been watching this current season, if you have been along with us for the ride since 2021, and for some godforsaken reason, you still do not know who in the blue hell I am, I suggest you go back to school, go to your local library, get the biggest dictionary you can find, preferably Merriam-Webster, and look me up under the word phenomenal. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a phenomenal one. And of course, today's same episode, we have a lot in store for you. But unfortunately, I have to go ahead and give you guys the news and the disclaimer that my co-host isn't here today. And it's unfortunate. Peeps Nate is out with the colds. Yes, the 800-pound dinosaur, 800-year-old monsoon himself is out with a cold. But like all the other things that he has faced, like the swine flu, the Black Death, and everything within the Renaissance, Peeps Nate finds a way to survive. So look, with all due love and care and hope, Peeps, we hope that you get better soon. But then that kind of goes ahead and puts me in a knuckle because, of course, who else can I have? Okay. I don't even know why I asked the question. I genuinely don't know why I asked the question.
Welcome to once again, folks. This is the 2 weeks. That's right, the 2 weeks anniversary of the greatest mega intercontinental AAA heavyweight champion, my boy, Dominic Mysterio. Yes, folks, we are here. It's unfortunate that the Peep Snake dropped Diablo on H. But anyway, I am here once again here on Saturday afternoon's main events. Of course, before I get to everything, I don't know if you guys realize this. The Peep Snake, who is a constant here on Saturday afternoon's main event, streaks are made to be broken. Goldberg had a streak of 172 consecutive victories to start his career on WCW. The Undertaker, 21-0 before his streak got snapped. And then now, after 65 consecutive episodes of the People's Nature Boy, he decides to not show up. I'm just kidding, Nate. I'm just kidding. Nate, feel better. Hopefully, you'll be back here next week. But anyway, folks, I am your uncle, Triple C. And of course, guys, if you guys don't know this, you better know it, because it is still, it was, it is, forever will be, under the umbrella of the Uncle Triple C era here live in studio.
Of course.
But today, Phenomenal One, for the last couple of weeks since I've returned, there is somebody else that I've been wanting to introduce. And today, I am now going to introduce the fourth member, although it'll be three of us today, but he is the fourth member here on Saturday Afternoon's Main Event. And of course, if you was an old school fan, when I would go like this, it could mean the Four Horsemen, or it could be Ted DiBiase saying the fourth member of the NWO. But no, it is the fourth member of SAME, that is Saturday Afternoon's Main Event, and his name, my pristine colleague, the great Mr. 411, Christopher Martin. Welcome.
It's good to be back, fellas. Always great to see Uncle Triple C. How are you, sir?
Thank you very much, Mr. 411.
Wow.
It is great to see you here.
And you too, Rich. I'm sorry.
Wow. Damn.
But yeah, it's
Appreciate it, Chris. Thank you, bud.
great to be back.
yeah.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to drink to Nate. I wanted to drink because he's not here today. Let's everybody drink.
Well, you know,
That's a good thing. How do you drink to that?
let's toast, because, you know,
No,
this is always a tradition here on Saturday Afternoon's Main Event.
yes.
And I would like to toast to all of you, and I want to toast to Mr. 411 returning. Phenomenal One, you are here. And to Peep Snake, I hope you feel better. And unlike last week I had a freaking, what was that, Chick-fil-A cup. But this time, my nephew decided, he said, you know, Unc, it was so embarrassing last week, so this week, I'm going to get you something. And he got me this. You see what this says, folks? It says, Uncle, your uncle, Triple C, here live.
Yeah. So you know what? Everybody, let's drink. R.I.P. Nate.
Okay,
Oh,
I can't
he's not
drink.
Wait, he's not dead? I'm so sorry.
Why are you drinking, Unc? Oh, God.
Well, I was thirsty. Right? You know, what do you want me to do? You know,
Wow.
the myth, the
Oh, I
legend,
heard the
whatever.
real reason Nate isn't here, by the way. I heard the real reason. He had some bad takeout. He has explosive diarrhea, okay? So let's just get it right.
Fix his roof, so he'll be all right.
Or did he break his hip? Because he is that old. He could break a hip.
Sorry, Nate. But you are missed. You are missed.
I see we have a couple of people going ahead and sitting here and saying something towards that. Max Lewis says Peep Snake is probably still not well from the Mets collapse. Oh my God.
Oh, shots fired. Shots fired. No, first of all, there's other Mets fans in the room right now. Mr. Lewis.
I can't do it. I can't do it. I know you're too well, Max. I can't do it. But damn, man. Come on.
Wow.
You know, I'm not going to talk about sports, but I'll just leave it at that. The
Yeah.
Mets suck balls, but
There we
whatever.
There we
You
go.
can still make the playoffs. It's not over yet.
I don't even want them to make the playoffs, but
I
this is wrestling.
We don't even control our destiny anymore. Please. Can we get into wrestling, guys?
Yes,
Oh, sorry.
Yes. Okay. Perfect.
Well, once upon a time, we also did a sports show. You know that, right?
That is true. Over 30 years ago.
Damn, 30 years too long. Jesus
Is
Christ.
it 30 years? No, 20 years ago. Whatever.
You guys are-
25, 27.
You guys are ancient. Good grief.
Wait, why did first of all, John Cena says 25 years in WWE? That's not true. He hasn't been in WWE for 25 years.
Right.
Oh,
I guess
no.
he's trying to
Come
say
to think about
main roster, I guess.
Or maybe his whole career?
Yeah,
Wrestling
well,
wise?
yeah. I mean,
Maybe if you count him training in OVW and all that kind of stuff, then
Yeah. I guess.
it's
Yeah.
close. Right. Not quite.
yeah, not quite exactly. But you know what? Without further ado, guys, seems like three quarters of the band is here, and of course, as we said, we hope that we wish Nate good tidings, great health, and rebooted for next week's show. But again, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get right into the show. And of course, you know that when you end up going ahead and watching Saturday Afternoon's Main Event, and somehow, some way, this theme comes on, it's time for one thing and one thing only. Guys, brace yourselves because it is time for
Wrestling Crash Course.
There we go. Okay. Dead and Magic. Okay, I see you. Okay, I see you, Uncle Triple C. Perfect stuff. But look, Wrestling Crash Course, first thing to open up today, All Out and Wrestlepalooza's review. last week we had 2 main shows on a Saturday, one in the afternoon, one later into the night. All Out being the one that took place in the afternoon in Toronto, Canada. Wrestlepalooza being the one that took place in Indiana. I'm going to go ahead and go off the railings here and speak about All Out first and foremost, and I'll leave Wrestlepalooza to the 2 of you guys. Okay. Triple C, you may dim the lights. It wastes no time. 15 minutes in, guys. You can't make this up. But let me just say this. Wrestlepalooza wasn't a bad show. It wasn't. Matches here and there were a bit subpar. I love the opening, though. I have to say that I love the opening, which was the Edge and Christian tag team match against FTR. Let me say this. The Beth run-in, that was good. The attack on Stokely, perfect. The aftermath with FTR going ahead and actually, attacking Beth post-match, handcuffing Edge to the ring. I enjoyed that. And even if I had to even go further, the fact that Bubbles made an appearance on AEW television, Chris.
Bubbles?
Bubbles. Exactly. Googly eye guy. Of course you remember Bubbles, but of course, yeah, he makes an appearance. Cool, whatever. Perfect kind of little pop for the Attitude Era type of fans. But hey, fast forward to all of that. Cool stuff. The other matches, like Toni Storm losing the AEW Women's title to Chris Statlander. Yeah. That was monumental. So hats off to her for that. But when you sit there and you look at the main event, even though it led into Wrestlepalooza, which I'm gonna speak my gripe with that in a few, it just gave off, mid-regular level pay-per-view. I don't know. I genuinely, didn't understand the whole thing going into it, where it was supposed to be like, to me, okay, big show. I feel like it's just going to lead to more storylines and more things. Don't even get me started on Hepatitis Z versus the Daredevil that climbed Mount Everest.
Did anybody die in that match?
Yeah, I know you probably hoped for somebody to die.
Oh, that's what the sickos want. You gotta give the sickos what they want. Had someone died, that place would have been so happy. They did it for them, right? They sacrificed their life for them. Remember, what did Toni Storm say in her promo leading up to the main event? The women's title match. What did she say? Right? She said, "If you're not willing to die, then you're shit," or something like that. Remember what was her line about that? If you're not willing to die. Now think about all the AEW wrestlers who are willing to die. Those who are currently on the shelf, right? So you got Ospreay on the shelf. You got Swerve on the shelf. There's many others that I'm forgetting. Jay White is still out, right? Who else? We got a laundry list of people that are still out because they're willing to die for the company.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But funny enough, you know what? It's cool to see, Pac back. I have to say, seeing Pac back, it gives me a little bit of revitalization. Although I don't know what there's left to do with, the whole group with Moxley's doing. I don't know where you go after him losing the title. But then again, this is AEW that we're talking about.
Oh, by the way, I heard yesterday that the buy rate, they're expected it to be $140K, which was going to surpass expectations, according to Uncle Dave and his ilk. But did you see the stars? Did you see the stars that came out about these matches?
Don't even get me started about the star ratings. Do I really care about star ratings anymore?
No. You know what? We shouldn't even give Uncle Dave a platform at this point because the man's clearly lost his mind. It's so disappointing. By the way, did you see my little X last night?
Yup. Dustin.
Grief. Dustin Rhodes tweeted, or what is it even called at this point? Because it's X. It's not even Twitter.
Yeah.
What do you call an X post? I don't know. He X posted that we are the best, and he cited the reason why being the ratings that Meltzer gave each match. And I just felt really like, I don't know what's happened to Dustin Rhodes over the years. His mind, if you follow him on X, a lot has changed mentally. So I went ahead and I replied to that message with the following.
Chris.
Dustin clearly has CTE, and it's really sad. Hopefully he doesn't Benoit his family. So, yeah.
Christopher Morton for you, ladies and gentlemen. Doesn't change, doesn't revert back to nobody. Gotta love him. Xavier's in the chat. He says, "R.I.P. to Jay White. He ain't dead, but they killed his momentum before the injuries could." AEW for you. AEW for you. But you know what? Guess what? Let's just go ahead and put this out. He also says, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Uncle Triple C is better than Uncle Dave. I guess that's his cue to go ahead and undim the lights.
I'm here. Good job. Good job, Venora. You stepped up. You showed me something because I've always been part of the people. The people of Fame.
Oh, I know we don't want to talk sports, but real quick. Last night, when the Florida State Seminoles took an L, I know you guys as Hurricane fans. By the way, did you hear on every third down with the Virginia mic played, what they played over the stadium? Did you hear what they were playing on third down?
No.
I'm paying attention to it.
Every third down, they played the Undertaker's gong.
I love it. And right on cue. Look at this.
You know what? The Virginia Cavaliers get my respect. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Funeral march. Look at that on cue. Only here at Same, guys. Only here at Same. But you know what? Here's what I say to that. We're getting a W next week. Okay? Miami's going 5-0. Okay? We're stepping into number one position. And the rest of the college football, atmosphere has to fear us. Because I'm telling you this. We beat Florida State next week. We're winning the Natty.
Whoa. Slow down there, buddy. Slow down. There's a lot of great teams in the country.
Bama doesn't exist anymore. So why should I care,
Let's keep it professional wrestling, please.
Okay. You got a point. Sorry, Chris. I know that kind of stuff. I'm sorry. But with all due respect, we can continue on with the show today. We go ahead and step from that into Wrestlepalooza. Guys, what did you guys think about the show?
C grade, Chris? I mean, that's what ESPN was.
Yeah, the ESPN reporter, right? And he doubled down on it, too, because everyone came after him about it, considering that it was the debut show on ESPN for WWE. And he's not wrong. Why? Listen, there's a lot of dreck on that show. The mixed tag match was really strong. The main event definitely passed. But my biggest gripe with the show, well, there's a couple, but the John Cena match, answer a question for me. Didn't they already do that match a couple years ago where Cena got squashed by Lesnar just like that? Are they forgetting the matches? Because they used to be big on this. In fact, I used to know someone who worked for WWE. His job was to watch the finishes and record all the finishes and write it down on paper and send it back to upper management so they didn't do the same finish again in such a short period of time. Mm-hmm. How long ago was that Lesnar Cena match? Because 2014, do that same match. You can't.
Right. He came back, 2013, 2014, whatever it was?
Lesnar faced Cena 2012, but that squash match, I think, was for the Undisputed titles, right?
No, but there was a more recent squash match. Didn't they just do that match like 5 years ago? Or am I wrong?
No, I think that was the match Phenomenal was talking about. That was the one where he squashed him a decade ago, something like that.
Squashed him a decade ago.
Is that long? I thought it was more recent than that.
No. Listen, Chris, time goes by quickly, but I know what you're talking about. Where Suplex City was finally adopted.
Yes.
So that was 10 years ago. Yeah.
Okay, but still, granted, they did the same match, right?
Exactly.
Was there anything different about this match?
No. Cena got in about a minute and a half of offense with 3 to 4 AAs. Tries to pin Brock. Brock kicks out. And then Brock goes for 4 F5s, pins him, and then done. Match over. And it was an 8-minute match.
Right.
The thing about that match was what everybody will talk about. Yes, granted, obviously it was a squash match, but it's basically the post-match. I mean, him F5ing the referee. That was a good sight. I'm trying to think of positives, in the match.
You know what? The only good positive. Paul Heyman showing up to announce him.
But there you go. Yeah, there you go. So what is he? Is he going to become once again the advocate or the Oracle advocate? Whatever you want to, whatever it's going to be.
Or the Dangerous Alliance just makes a comeback. Who knows?
That's not happening.
But yeah, to Mr. 41's point, I thought it was a C average. But although the women's title match, it was underwhelming as far as the hype to it, but you knew they were going to deliver.
Indeed.
And in ring, that was the best match of the night. Stephanie, becoming, the women's world champion. Congrats to her. But her and Io put on a clinic, and that was the best match of the night.
Absolutely. Wholeheartedly. Like we said, AJ's comeback, that was a solid match as well. I love the stuff that they did, within the ring, outside of the ring. The storytelling within it, even with AJ's neck and stuff. And there was so much within the match that I just enjoyed. That I had to give a solid 2. But for me, the main event, there were certain things that I hated. And even Drew brought it up last night. And I was like, so you see what's going on here? And my thing is the thing with DQs, right? Mm-hmm. So Drew had a chance to claymore Cody into the announce tables, the bottom half of it. Again, kind of like, foretelling from a couple of weeks back. The ref wasn't allowing it, right? Into the steps, the ref wasn't allowing it. And for me, I sat there like, why is he not allowing it? Why is he going to force a DQ on Drew if he does it? When obviously him going ahead and using it like that isn't him using a weapon. It's just using everything a part of the ring to his advantage. And it's just like, okay, is he taking a chair and hitting Cody? No. A belt? No. So what is it that would constitute this as DQ? And Cody just wins clean like that. And for me, I was just like, I was expecting maybe a run-in. This Randy Orton shows up last night, but you're telling me he couldn't show up at Wrestlepalooza? If you wanted to go ahead and have Cody retain, there's so many different things that they could have done within that match that I feel like they didn't do. And it was just like, you know what? Drew, get in heavy offense, make it seem like Cody's about to lose, and then Cody hits your Homelander gimmick. 1, 2, 3, Cody wins LOL.
Homelander.
That's what it felt. That's what it genuinely felt like to me, Chris. I don't know. How did you feel about that match?
Did you guys hear my new song? F Cody Rhodes. F Cody Rhodes. F Cody Rhodes.
Chris, man. Uncle Triple C, you feel the same way with that match, or?
Yes, I agree. To your point, I mean, it's no different than throwing somebody to the ring steps. I mean, so again, logically, it doesn't make sense. And Mr. Foreman would always talk about AEW on what things don't make sense. Well, look, if we're going to bash AEW, we can bash WWE. And I know we're going to be bashing WWE with last night also, but we'll save that for the next segment. But at the end of the day, it didn't make sense. The referee getting involved ready to DQ Drew. And Drew, I remember a year ago, talking that he would not make the same mistake as far as him not pushing through and hitting whatever moves he needs to hit. And to me, it didn't make any sense. I mean, I thought that, like you said, you're gonna get maybe a run-in, maybe something shocking. We didn't get any of that. I thought the show overall was, as to that ESPN reporter, I agreed with him. I thought it was a solid C.
Yeah. No, listen, the booking is bad right now across the board. I'm not happy with the product. I don't watch the whole show anymore. And to be fair, I feel like they could have done a hot change and put the title on Drew. Because
thank you.
I'm so sick of the Cody run anyway. And it would have been something to spice it up and just surprise the viewer. Wow, Cody lost. You know what I mean? He could win it back, but why not have him lose?
Exactly. This is his second title reign. You just, for me, I'm tired of the titles changing only at SummerSlam and Mania. There's other pay-per-views for a reason. You guys would sit there and you guys would tell me about the times when you guys would, be at each other's houses just to watch these pay-per-views and how you were expecting the unexpected. So there were times when the title would change hands out of nowhere. So it's just for me, you can sit there, you can think Unforgiven, Armageddon, King of the Ring, the night Chris Jericho won the titles off of Austin and Rock. You guys weren't expecting that, but it happened, and it's just you would expect the unexpected now that Triple H has the pen, but that's not the case.
Well, okay, so to be fair to that statement, I think when Russo was booking, it got a little too excessive in terms of title changes too fast. Guys not holding it long enough. At the same time, though, we don't need a year reign. We don't need a 2-year reign. Not everybody has to have that long of a reign. So it can be a 3-month reign.
Except Mr. 401,
Yeah.
the greatest mega intercontinental heavyweight champion. This is the 2-week anniversary, the 2-week Mr. 401 of my boy, Dominic Mysterio, who has no business defending that damn title against freaking Rusev on Monday night. And was the last time Finn Balor and JD defended their tag titles. But anyway.
He's the greatest luchador of all time, too, right?
Exactly, Mr. 401. Unlike that deadbeat Rey Mysterio. But anyway, I'm sorry. Just have to put that in there.
I digress. You know what? That might be the first one of the day. Peeps, where are you when we need you, man? Jesus.
He's keeping score.
Yeah, okay. Most likely, yeah. That's probably the only thing he can be doing right now. Sage. Oh, geez, what are we doing, man? But look, from there, we'll move to the next piece of news. Jasmine Nix quits WWE. Former member of Fatal Influence has said that she is pretty much done. So now we're only down to Fallon Henley and JC Jane. But at the same time, when it comes down to this girl's contract, she stated that the reason she's leaving is because WWE's offer to her wasn't substantial within the form of money. Uncle Triple C, what do we say to that?
First of all, it's a 3-year deal they offered her. So they saw some kind of potential in her. And obviously the group Fatal Influence has been a key component in NXT. You know, so to me, Jasmine Nix, I mean, listen, you know what? She's betting on herself. Listen, wish her well. Personally, I think that it's not a good move, but if she has an offer on the table from AEW, you know, or maybe something else, OnlyFans. I mean, you know, anything. So listen, you know, I wish Jasmine well. I mean, you know, listen, your uncle has money, so if I need to invest in OnlyFans, hey, listen, hey, you know, but.
My uncle investing into OnlyFans was not on my bingo card for 20.
Yeah, I mean, that's the bottom line. As Uncle Triple C just said, unless AEW is going to offer her more money, she's not getting it anywhere else. TNA is not giving her what WWE offered her.
Right.
So I don't know how much Tony Khan is into this girl, so we'll see. But
you know, from what I'm seeing, Corey Richmond says apparently she was making $50K.
Oh God!
Oh, that's wow. They lowballed her. Wow,
that's old school TNA money. Remember that?
Right? Yeah.
When the women had to have another job because they couldn't pay bills.
But let's be clear on that. Okay, she's 50,000. It's not like you're on TV once a week.
Right.
You may do live events maybe once in this new TKO regime. So you maybe do one. So you're working maybe 8 times in a month. I mean, come on.
Yeah, to be fair, okay, when you prorate it and you think about what she does do there, it's a good living, but you just, you're skating by in life. You're not.
Very true. Don't get me wrong. 50K is 50K.
Right.
Yeah. Indeed. You got a point, guys. You got a point. Well, best hope for her in her future endeavors. Hope that doesn't exactly mean that she actually does go ahead and choose to go to OnlyFans just so Uncle Triple C can start spending money. But
everybody get a price.
Xavier says this. He says Triple C, Shannon Sharp, Shaq. The unks need to be stopped.
Listen. The fact is that you're putting me in the select group of Shannon Sharp and Shaquille O'Neal. You know what? Those guys couldn't hold my jock. Because I am your uncle. Triple C.
Minus the allegations. Anywho, from there we move to next piece of news here on Wrestling Crash Course, the Saturday afternoon's main event. WrestleMania tickets are finally out, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it is time of year again. It seems like Uncle Triple C's pulling out his wallet. About $50, maybe less than that. Who knows? But 27. Okay, so he would just need about 5,000 more to just go ahead and get by for a vacation to Vegas next year. But if you're people like Christopher Morton, you might just wait the day of. Hey, what are we saying to this, guys? Because I went ahead and checked the tickets. I think dynamic pricing has already kicked in now. It seems like, Chris, funny enough, what you paid for Mania tickets this year per night is exactly how much it is to only sit in the 400 section this year. What are we doing?
This is crazy. This is crazy. But I'll say this: as a diehard WWE fan, and having to be in that building, I'm already giving blood. All right, I'm donating blood. I'm donating sperm. Okay, for those interested, donating sperm, and I'm pimping out my mother. Okay, who just turned 82, by the way. So those who are interested, hit me up on X. All right, she doesn't have any teeth. If you're into that. But I am going to Vegas next year at any cost.
Oh my God. Holy hell.
I am at a loss for words. Mr. 401,
Yes.
I mean, how much is your bomb for?
Yo, chill.
Oh my goodness! Look,
Oh my God.
here's the bottom line. The tickets are ridiculous, and it was
Of course.
On Monday night. What I always like to look at like the crowd, and there are sections of, if you looked, I guess it was the Cody Seth promo.
Yeah.
And when they did the close-up shot to Cody, I think one of them, you actually saw, I guess it would be the 200 section, wherever they were at. I don't know where they were this past Monday night, but you saw a pocket of empty seats, in the 200 section, and I'm just like saying to myself, like, you see, obviously, they're not selling out, because now you're not even hearing Michael Cole or Joe Tesserone say this is the 18th sellout at whatever building that they're in. And
Exactly.
that's a telltale sign of really what it's been lately.
And that was a smaller building on top of it. They only drew, I believe, 6,000 people and a 7,000 seat setup, because obviously the building is bigger than that.
Right.
Although, wait, there wasn't really an upper deck to that building, so it was kind of a smaller building.
Right.
Yeah.
But listen, hopefully that's a sign of things to come. I really do believe people should, I don't want to use the word boycott, but say, no, we're not doing this. We're not paying. The problem is the 1%ers, the people with the money, are going to go no matter what. Now, the average person, like I joked earlier, who knows what they're capable of doing to go and how they'll get the money, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
right.
I'm not paying. I refuse.
So I feel that if we're going this route, do you guys expect them to probably go ahead and lessen down the price in months to come?
No.
You heard what Shapiro said. He doubled down on it. Shapiro said, the guy that runs TKO, what's his first name?
Mark, I think.
Yeah, Mark. No, he said this is what it is now. I mean, they did it with UFC. The ticket prices, they're outrageous also. And I know people always go then bring up Vince about his whole family thing, which is what people talked about for years and how cheap the tickets were for families, but they don't care about the family. They don't care. So it's going to take people like us to stop going for a possible change. And who knows if it will or not. I don't know.
And speaking of family, we didn't even touch on it, but any thoughts of Stephanie McMahon being inducted into next year's Hall of Fame?
Should have been Shane.
You guys care at all?
Should have been Shane.
I'm sorry. I'm just keeping it a buck. But you know what? Due in part, I feel that Steph does deserve it. You know what? I go along the lines of saying that she has been responsible for a lot when it comes down to the women's division in WWE and how much that has gotten promoted. If not for Stephanie McMahon wanting to, tell creative and tell her father, look, I feel that you should showcase the women in a larger light, on a larger scale, and allow them to produce what you want to be, sports entertainment to your audience and grow more. Look at that. John Cena.
Yeah.
If Stephanie McMahon, what would John Cena be doing right now? What would we be talking about as maybe the greatest of this current generation, or to what other people may try to say the GOAT? Would we still be talking about Hogan? Would it now just be, Roman Reigns is the greatest thing to happen to the new millennium? Would that be it? But obviously, it would have to take John Cena to create a Roman Reigns. So due in part, that is to Stephanie McMahon. To you guys, she was the hoe with brick breasts. I'm sorry, just to quote The Rock. You have Chris Jericho crapping on her every Monday night, whether
so
Rhino, the gore or not. So
that
look,
was so good. Oh my god.
you see, so
What do you call it? Trash bag? What was it? The line? Trash.
So you see, so you guys have had fond memories of Stephanie McMahon and Uncle Triple C, of course, even with The Undertaker. That goes way back, So look, in all due part, Stephanie has been a huge part of the WWE for nearly 30 years. If anything, this is great for it to happen. Although, a lot of other old people will go ahead and sit there and say, she goes in before her father? But then again, we know why. But in my mind, I'm just sitting there like, you know what? Shane McMahon would have been a cool choice too. But hey, I digress. What do you guys think? Are you guys, perfectly fine with this? Or are you guys happy, excited for her?
I'm indifferent. It's cool. It was a cool moment. She was surprised. Good for her. Is it, again, it's not a real deal Hall of Fame or Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame, but for WWE, it is a Hall of Fame. And yes, we as fans do watch or somewhat care for it. So this is why I brought it up. But again, congrats to Steph.
I like the moment. I like the fact Taker came out and sat next to her, and the genuine surprise on her face. And then they later, what did they did you guys see how they shot the back with Gorilla and Triple H watching?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that was a good moment for her. I'm with Uncle Triple C. It was okay. It's great for her. That's it.
Absolutely. Yeah. But from there, we move towards somebody who might be set to be entering the WWE Hall of Fame sooner or later. A man who might be retiring next year, and that is AJ Styles. He has officially announced that 2026 might be his last year wrestling, in which he will retire after. So, guys, do we give the man a farewell tour?
I mean, it's hard to do that after just giving one to Cena. I think he'll get a great last match.
Right.
I'm not sure we're going to get the whole farewell tour. Listen, the bones and the body beat up. He said that he just can't do it anymore. He keeps getting hurt. And I think we talked about this briefly recently when it was on the table that he was going to retire. So we were just waiting for the official announcement.
Okay, so what? A title run maybe down the line?
I don't think so. I don't think they could put the title on him just because he's so banged up. Again, he's like, I think we get one great match. I mean, but obviously now we're going to get him against Cena, right? That's official.
Yep.
So that should be something to see.
Indeed. You're right.
And then after that, I don't know what they could give him as an official last match. I mean, it would be great if he went back to TNA and had an official last match.
I would have loved that.
Didn't he appear in TNA?
He did
A month ago.
Yeah,
he did. Right. It was a bizarre segment though. It's kind of weird. It kind of went on too long.
Right. It was the X Division.
Yeah.
Right.
And the guy who I forget who the wrestler was. He had the
Leon
microphone.
Slater?
Who?
Leon Slater.
And it just went on too long. But if he had a final match there, I think it would be a bigger deal.
Absolutely. I feel the same way. Well, look, from there, we'll go ahead and continue to monitor AJ Styles and his the rest of his career towards the next year. But we move to the last piece of news on Wrestling Crash Course, and that comes from last night's SmackDown. Tiffany Stratton retains the women's title.
Oh my god! Yo, yeah. I wish I had some drink of alcohol.
Oh god. Okay. Who wants to take this first? Is it going to be
Nia Jax? I don't even know where to begin with this because there's so much being said on X about
that botch, man. Good grief. Okay, what are we doing?
First of all, it was botch central for starters. Jade, gets busted open. The spot where Nia Jax throws her into the steps is just so careless. Everyone was all over her on that one. Like she clearly just doesn't care about people's well-being.
Yep.
And then the finish. Oh my God, was that? I still don't know what was supposed to happen there. Clearly, the referee has to count to three. That's what it comes down to. Because if she's not kicking out, it's the ref's job to count to three. And I brought this up in the group chat last night. Could you imagine if the referee at WrestleMania did not count to three when Brock Lesnar ended the streak? How that would have looked? Oh my God! So yeah, that's on the rough. I still don't know what the real finish was supposed to be. What do you guys think?
I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be Tiffany to retain.
Well, no, she was going to retain. I just don't know how.
True, but I feel like, Jade getting busted open, and I don't know if you guys seen the aftermath of the pictures that she posted, but like it's a UFC kind of cut. It's gashed open.
Gash, right? It's a gash.
Like her eyebrows literally split. Like it's literally sliced into two. Like it is insane. But I like you said, the carelessness, not something that I was expecting from Nia Jax, even though it's something that has been talked about in the past.
What?
And she has kind of gotten better in ring when it came to protecting. I wasn't expecting that it would happen this soon.
Okay, if they're going to get rid of Andrade for unprofessional reasons, let's future endeavor this cow, please. Because I'm sick of seeing this, okay? Shamu. Big giant, fat, disgusting beast.
Yo, Chris.
Yo, Naya, it's not called liver-beaties, so just be careful there with that sugar.
Chris.
No, it's disgusting. Listen, I hate that. I don't want to fat shame, okay? But at the same time, it's unhealthy. It's unhealthy to be that big, okay?
Let me just say this about the match. Number one, the referee. Regardless, at the end of the day, your job is to count 1, 2, 3. And listen, Nia Jax, whether it's the referee, Nia Jax, some kind of miscommunication there, the referee has to count 1, 2, 3. It just looks bad. If Nia Jax doesn't move her shoulders, well, that's Nia Jax's fault. At the end of the day, I blame it on the ref for not counting the 3 count. Nia Jax, for whatever reason, maybe she had a brain freeze. Now, don't get me wrong. It has happened. Remember, it happened with Damian Priest last year, I believe.
Right.
So it has happened. But at the end of the day, the carelessness, as Mr. Foreman alluded to, with Nia, with the way she handled Jade, the way I look at it is like, you know what? I'm going to give Nia a pass because, to Phenomenal One's point, over the past year, or last really she's basically returned. She's actually done a good job. So I'll give her a pass on this. And it was a cool visual when Jade fired up with the blood streaming down her face. So it was a cool visual. And Mr. 401, I know these are the little things that we kind of nitpick because we nitpick at AEW, so we got to nitpick at WWE. The camera stuff, I could do without the camera panning out and the referee taking out a towel and trying to clean Jade's face. I could have done without that. The bottom line is the referee has to count 1, 2, 3. They went to the finish, with Tiffany doing the prettiest moonsault. But bottom line, the shoulders is down. You make the count and you live with it.
Indeed.
It's just. By the way, Lee Fitting has had some issues lately. Okay, let's be fair about Lee Fitting. We praise all of his camera work, but lately we've been seeing people catch people on dives, something we never saw in WWE for years. That's always been an AEW problem with us seeing the guy waiting to catch. I've seen it a lot recently. I don't remember which one last bothered me, but I've seen it too much.
I don't know if you guys caught it, even with Wrestlepalooza. Some of the camera cuts, they seem a bit careless because it just allows things to just be shown. I don't know if you guys noticed during the AJ Punk versus, Seth and Becky match where, the first opening sequence with AJ going ahead and kind of getting her moves in on Becky. And everybody starts chanting, "You still got it." Right. You see CM Punk outside the ring literally clapping with them. And it's the camera work, as much as we were praising it the first couple of months it's like now it's getting a bit too sloppy.
By the way, did you guys see Botchamania yet?
No, I have yet to watch.
No, okay. So remember this in the mixed tag match with AJ Lee. What was this? Did you see that? What was this?
Right.
For all that we listen, AJ Lee's a good worker. Don't get me wrong, but this cannot happen, yo.
No,
that was so bad.
That was bad. Agreed. That was bad. Agreed. Real quick before you get to the ratings, Phenomenal One. Young OG last night Listen, Javon Evans, he
Oh,
is the future of SmackDown, but he's not the future, just like my boy Dominic Mysterio. But he is the future, and he had a terrific showing on the main roster.
indeed. I agree wholeheartedly. Great
How
match.
old is he, by the way? How old?
21.
Okay, so he's gonna put some weight on. Maybe he could borrow some weight from Nia Jax.
Oh, jeez. Phenomenon. Get to the ratings.
Ratings indeed. Okay, guys. Of course, this is Peeps Nature's forte, so I don't think I can ever be great as the People's Nature boy, but I can certainly try. Look, this past week, AEW has once again lost. Yes, indeed, they have once again lost.
However,
NXT, there is no however, Chris. What
No,
you expected me to hit though? You expected me to hit though, but the max numbers, like
no. I'm not even going that route. I'm going the route of okay. Well, what were the ratings really, considering the two different numbers we heard?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna give you both of the numbers. Okay. So NXT did 707,000 with a 0.17 in the demo. Okay, and AEW, as reported first, did a 638. With a 0.14 in the demo. But when it began to come out, it was then found out that the correction was 554,000.
Which, of course, is still being disputed by Uncle Dave, to no surprise.
Indeed. But, you know, this number has been coming up a lot. What the demo was on an 1849 range, 0.11. So
yeah, I mean, listen, no matter what the numbers are, we know AEW just doesn't have the audience they once did, and they're a pay-per-view company. Let's be fair. I've been saying this for months. They're an excellent pay-per-view company. They draw a big house. They get a big buy rate. That's what they are. They're not a television company. We know their attendance is horrible. We know they're losing money every week, but they're a great pay-per-view company.
I agree. Uncle Triple C. Oh, wait. I just remembered this is AEW. You're not going to want to say anything about that. Good grief. But, look, that marks the end of the ratings. That marks the end of the first half of the show. When we come back, we're going to go ahead and get into our questions from this week. And then, of course, our predictions for this weekend's NXT No Mercy.
So 48 minutes into the show, that's the halfway point.
We're going to run through it. No mercy.
Exactly. Absolutely. So look, guys, without further ado, we're going to go into break. Stay tuned. Do not go anywhere because the second half of Same is coming up next.
Weeks of doing this program, but it's okay because my pristine colleague that you guys see on your screen or you hear, depending on whatever it is that you're doing, is Mr. 411 Christopher Morton.
Oh, by the way, we received a text message from Nate that he's dying over there listening to the show. It's so funny, he says.
Not literally. Don't take it literal, Chris. Please don't. But we're glad you're enjoying the show, peeps, and we hope that you guys watching on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube are enjoying the show as well. Look, we've gotten to the part of our show now where we get to the questions. We enjoy this part of this and this segment of the show. You guys want to be a part of the action? Send in your questions to Instagram. DM us at Saturday Afternoons _main event. Send it in the words of the Wrestling God, WWE Hall of Famer JBL. I guarantee it will be on the next episode of the show. With that being said, the first one we open up with comes from Master Sean 007. He says, "Greetings, gentlemen. Recently, a picture leaked showing CM Punk, AJ Lee, Seth Rollins, and Becky Lynch doing a run-through of their upcoming match. Not the first time pictures or storylines have been leaked online to the public by various wrestling companies. What can be done by wrestling companies to put a stop to it? Nothing."
Well, can I jump in here?
Absolutely, Chris.
I think the problem is now with them doing the show that we're seeing behind the scenes stuff. Do they really care? Everyone knows it's a work. Everyone knows what it is now. Stuff like this, people are still going to buy the tickets to see the hot angle, right? This is still a hot angle. So I'm going to want to see how it transpires, how it ends, how whatever they do. Well, not to mention, by the way, You guys remember an Instagram post from AJ Lee thanking everybody?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
She
Right.
thanked everyone, and that's another thing that we talk about with kayfabe. It's dead. It's honestly dead. So how can we protect the business when the people in charge aren't protecting the business?
You're right. Absolutely. Next one comes from Hot Rod 316. He says, "Do you think John Cena's heel turn is one of the biggest flops so far under the Triple H umbrella? Second biggest flop is Dirty Dom winning the belts." I said what I said.
Oh.
Just like that deadbeat Rey Mysterio, you are the biggest two-time deadbeat father of the year. But anyway.
Good grief. Good grief.
And as far as the first half of the question, as far as John Cena's heel turn being a flop, yes, it's been a flop.
Okay. I think we all can agree on that one. Last question here that was sent in comes from Long Island Isaiah. He says, "Adam Copeland is taking a sabbatical. Do you guys think TK gave him the green light to be Cena's last match?" I got the answer for you. Hell no! Does that answer your question?
No, I mean, listen, with how hard WWE is going after Tony Khan now to try to put him out of business, I would be shocked. It would be like the last thing on earth I would think Tony Khan would give them anything.
Exactly. Like, I know Tony would probably be sitting there like, "You guys want what?"
Right.
Like, I can just imagine it. So no, absolutely not. Hell no.
The snowman.
I'm telling you, he's probably sitting there reciting Al Pacino phrases in his bathroom as he's sitting there just doing lines like, you know what?
My little friend.
Exactly. Say goodnight to the bad guy. Like, please. Come on, guys.
Peep Snakes would have put what's his name? Tony Khan over and say, "Yeah, he'll do it," because Peep is such a nice guy.
Peeps for you. Never turns. Good grief. But look, one comes in live from Jamal 2 Crazy Gaming 23. He says, "If Dominic Mysterio ever turned on Finn Balor, do you think Dirty Dom versus Finn would make an awesome title storyline?" Indeed. With Finn going over, of course. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's had a good reign. Look,
you are my nephew, aren't you?
Yes, but you even said that he would lose the IC title and have him.
I can speak on that. Only I can speak on that.
How? I would have thought that I have the authority to speak on it too.
Authority.
Yes. I mean, come on. Like,
wait, Uncle. Do we need to remind him that he's the house show curtain jerker?
You know, at once upon a time, he was. But I did apologize. I did apologize, months back. So if you guys are not familiar with what I'm talking about, yes, Phenomenal One, I would call him hot garbage and, curtain jerker and all of those things. But those are a thing of the past, of course. Okay, I did that back then. Okay, this is a different era. It's still under the umbrella of the Uncle Triple C era, but I'm just saying it's different now. But anyway,
Nate is still a house show curtain jerker, right?
I mean, he's not here, ain't he? So,
right.
Come on. Nate, man. Good grief. Anywho, look, those are the questions. We appreciate you guys for sending them in. We're stuck for time. We got one more thing to get to. So, look, you guys want to send in questions? Send them in on our DMs. Saturday afternoons _main event. It'll be on the next episode of the show. With that being said, we are now at the final topic for today. That is our preview and predictions for NXT No Mercy. Guys, look, let's run through this. Javon Evans versus Josh Briggs, singles match. Give me Josh Briggs to win the match.
I agree. I think Briggs is the next person that's going to probably his evolution of trying to compete for the NXT title. With Javon, he doesn't need the win. I like Briggs.
Okay. Mr. 411, do you feel the same way?
Sure.
Sure. Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take it. Hey, we'll take it. We'll take it. That works. That works. Look, Jordan Grace versus Blake Monroe. Weaponized steel cage match. Give me Blake Monroe to win the match. I feel that the evolution of Blake Monroe to go ahead and continue to rack up wins closer to the chance of her probably getting towards the NXT Women's title is near. Jordan Grace, I feel that she should deserve the win as well.
But I think why is she not on the main roster yet? I thought she was moving up.
I think we all thought the same thing. Genuinely, I think we all thought the same thing. Again, does it look like they would be doing any of a better job with her? I mean, obviously, all the care is going to Stephanie Vauquer. They're not even doing good with Julia. Let's kind of like let's stretch on that, you know. So it's like I feel that she's better off just staying in NXT for now, just for now at least.
I like Blake Monroe also. Although I feel that Jordan Grace, as to Mr. 41's point, she really hasn't really been used the way I thought that she would be used, considering the former Knockouts TNA champ coming over to NXT, thinking like it would be a bigger deal. For whatever reason, it just has not worked out the way I thought it would. But I like Blake Monroe in the steel cage match.
Okay, Chris?
Yeah, I like Blake Monroe to slide into my DMs on Instagram.
Hey.
Only Christopher Morton, ladies and gentlemen. But look, singles match for the NXT North American title. The one and only All Ego Ethan Page versus Tavion Heights. Of course, we've seen the tag match happen. We saw what happened with that. But now we're talking singles match, title on the line. Give me Ethan Page to retain.
I think the title will change hands. I think Ethan is going to the main roster. He's already main roster ready. Ethan All Ego has done to me everything except win the NXT title. He doesn't need the NXT title, to be honest with you. Okay. I just think that it's time for Ethan to go to the main roster. He's ready. He's ready.
Okay, no problem. Now, I don't know why this is kind of like my bathroom break match, because of course it's not like this title has any meaning, but it's for the WWE Women's Speed title. Sol Ruka, the champion, versus Lainey Reed. Give me Sol Ruka to retain. Does this really matter? Like I'm sitting there looking at this like
I think we get the upset. I think Reed will win. And I think Zarya, considering that they've been going back and forth a little bit. You saw even last night on SmackDown, Zarya like stepping up to Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. So I think that that will be beginning as far as her losing that title, because let's be honest, like you said, it's a quick 3-minute match. So if you're a 3-minute man, so hey, listen, that might work for you. But hey, listen, at the end of the day, give me Reed. I think we have a new speed champion. Not that I care, but I think Sol Ruka will lose that speed title.
Okay, Mr. 411.
What Uncle Triple C said.
Okay, next match, singles match, NXT Women's title, JC Jade versus Damian Priest's girlfriend Lola Vice. Who we got?
Oh, really? They're a couple?
She posted him yesterday for his birthday. She said, "Happy birthday, babes." Look, nice. Damian Priest is now officially a heel in the eyes of the WWE universe. So, good grief. Uncle Triple C, come on, man. But you know what? Give me Lola Vice.
I think JC Jane will continue to retain. They've done a good job NXT with the package that they've been giving Lola, but I like JC Jane to retain. I don't know if it will mean anything, considering that now it's only down to just the 3 of them. So we'll see.
All right, gotcha.
Yeah, I like JC Jane because she looks like a $20 hooker. That would have been really utilized well in the ECW days. I think Heyman would have really used her very well.
Why don't you stop?
What would it be, like a Lance Storm valet? Lance's own personal beat. Hey, let me stop. I'll stop, guys. I know. Too much. But okay, we got that down. Last match, the singles match for the NXT title. The Rula Obafemi, which I know I'm getting a hood right now from Peeps, versus Ricky Saints. I know Peeps is probably going for Oba, which is understandable. But give me Ricky Saints to win the NXT championship. I said it.
Right now, I mean, the only way Ricky Saints beats Oba is some kind of shenanigans, and there's not going to be any shenanigans unless TNA continue the invading angle, which was a good job this past Tuesday. Oba's going to be, to me, one of those guys that's going to be kind of like Asuka, because Oba has run through everybody. And he's one of those, just like Ethan Page. I think he's main roster ready himself. I think I like Oba to retain. I don't think anybody is beating Obafemi.
Ricky Sainz is probably main roster ready too, right? The Revolution is now televised.
Right.
Absolutely.
By the way, where's Trick Williams?
He's running around TNA, running rampant with the TNA title.
Right.
Okay,
right.
explain. Did he defend that title last night on Victory Road? Does anybody know if he won?
I didn't watch
Victory Road.
Come to think about it, I didn't watch Victory Road, but I did hear that Kalani Jordan won the TNA Knockouts title. Which is, yeah. I think that was the only title that changed hands.
Because then they just do a big invasion angle on this past NXT show.
Yeah, they did. You know, Matt Cardona made an appearance. You know, pretty much half the roster itself. You know, there's so much to it, but I feel like, you know, for me, when it comes down to it, I don't feel like a TNA attack would be something needed for this for that title match, because I just feel like, you know, okay, this is NXT versus NXT. Nothing TNA has to do with it, you know. So it's like, for me, I feel like this will just have to be a clean match. But how else would it be if Ricky Sainz goes to the main roster and it's like, okay, that's done with, you know, like who's next for Obafemi? You know, that runs dry. What are you going to tell me, Jasper Troy now? Is that
why do you think?
I think we'll circle back to Oba versus Trick. I think that's still the money match, because they've never. Well, granted, I guess they did have the one-on-one, you know, this past Tuesday. So there's that. So, but yeah, they've never had a clean finish. I guess one-on-one.
Indeed.
Why do you think Trick Williams isn't on the main roster yet? Because we thought he was ready a year ago.
That's a great question. I think that for whatever reason they've just kept Trick down. Maybe Trick didn't want to go. Considering, look, let's be honest, look how Carmelo Hayes has been booked, you know, since he's been on the main roster.
Yeah, but Trick is a bigger guy. You know, we talk about, Triple H doesn't think like Vince does. I don't believe so. It doesn't matter there, but I just think Trick has a better look. How's that?
Agree.
I agree the same. You know, but I feel like even with that, when you look at Carmelo Hayes, like leading into the Triple H era, like, you know, that first year in, around like, you know, WrestleMania like 39-ish. You know, Carmelo Hayes, to be for real with you, was the face of NXT. And looking at it, once they drafted him to SmackDown, you thought to yourself, you know what? That's perfect. Give the kid a place to shine. And I genuinely thought Carmelo should have shined already. It should have been at a point where, okay, he's nearing peak into, like, you know, his current run in SmackDown. But it's just like, I feel like just the places that they're pinpointing him aren't exactly where he should be.
Well, not only that, you get stuck with the Miz. It's like purgatory.
Shoot, who you telling, Chris? But then again, look, like I said, within this, if whoever's going to the main roster goes to the main roster, for me, like I said, I'm much more on Ricky Sainz. But if you guys are more on Oba, then I guess that's 3-1 right now, because Peeps is just sitting here salivating at this. But with that being said, that is our predictions for NXT No Mercy. And that, my friends, marks the end of today's episode of Saturday Afternoon's Main Event. We enjoyed the time with you guys. It was a great time indeed. But we have to say goodbye to you. So, we'll see you next week for episode 41. This was Same. We're out of Phenomenal One.
I'm your uncle, Triple C, for the Peeps Nation. After 65 consecutive weeks, it is now time for the Uncle Triple C to have the Roman Reigns schedule. But anyway, it's okay. But of course, for my once again returning prestige colleague, Mr. 411 Christopher Morton.
It's a great show, guys.
It was a great
We
show.
showed up. We broadcast.
Send them home, man. Just
That's it.
That's it.
Christopher 411, thank you for the house. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week, guys. Uncle Triple C, Mr. 401, out of Phenomenal One. This was Same. Peace. Love. What are we going to do with this, man, yo?
The Mega Campeon. We'll see you next week.
Farewell.
Extreme.